Listen to me. Worry is a disease, and most people let it run their lives. They let fear, doubt, and uncertainty dictate their every move. But let me tell you something powerful. You are not meant to carry that weight. You are not meant to struggle alone, because there is a power greater than you, greater than me, greater than anything in this world. And when you surrender your worries to that power, when you stop trying to control everything and start trusting in something bigger, your entire life will change. You weren't designed to live in fear. You were designed for faith. Worry is a disease. It creeps into your mind, takes root in your soul, and slowly drains you from the inside out. It robs you of peace. It steals your joy. It exhausts you mentally and physically, leaving you feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and powerless. And the worst part, most of the things you worry about will never even happen. But that doesn't stop your mind from running in circles. You worry about the future. You replay past mistakes. You fear the unknown, convinced that if you don't stay on high alert, something will go wrong. But let me ask you something. Has worry ever fixed a problem in your life? Has it ever brought you peace? Has it ever created a solution? No, worry doesn't build, it destroys. It clouds your judgment, distorts your reality, and paralyzes you from taking action. It convinces you that you're alone in this, that you have to figure it all out by yourself. But that is a lie. You were never meant to carry this weight on your own. You were never meant to wake up every day feeling anxious, stressed, and afraid. Because when you live in a constant state of worry, you are blocking the very blessings that are trying to reach you. Doors that were meant to open for you stay closed. Opportunities that were meant for you slip away. Because instead of moving in faith, you're stuck in fear. Instead of believing that things are working out for you, you're expecting the worst. And here's the truth. What you focus on, you attract. If you focus on problems, you'll find more problems. If you focus on lack, you'll experience more lack. If you constantly prepare for failure, you'll never recognize success when it shows up. But when you shift your focus, everything changes. When you choose to trust instead of fear, believe instead of doubt, and act instead of hesitate, you step into a new reality. A reality where you are no longer controlled by worry. A reality where you are no longer weighed down by anxiety. A reality where you are free. But it starts with a decision. A decision to stop letting worry dictate your life. A decision to let go of the thoughts that steal your peace. A decision to step into faith, knowing that you are supported, guided, and taken care of. Because the moment you release worry is the moment you make space for miracles. The moment you stop living in fear is the moment you start living in freedom. And the moment you let go of what you can't control is the moment you step into the life that was meant for you. Fear is a liar. It whispers worst-case scenarios into your mind. It paints pictures of failure, loss, and disaster. It convinces you that danger is everywhere, that you have to stay on guard, that something bad is always about to happen. But the truth? Most of the things you fear will never come true. Think about it. How many times have you stayed up at night worrying about something that never actually happened? How many times have you held yourself back because you were afraid of what might go wrong? How many opportunities have you missed? How many dreams have you put on hold because fear told you it was too risky? Fear is the ultimate thief. It doesn't just steal your peace. It steals your future. It keeps you stuck in your head, running endless scenarios that will never become reality. It makes you live small, play it safe, and avoid anything that feels uncertain. But guess what? Everything in life is uncertain. There are no guarantees, no way to predict the future, no way to know exactly how things will turn out. But here's what I do know. Worrying about something that might never happen is a waste of your life. All that energy, all that stress, all that overthinking, it's draining you. And for what? For something that's never even real? For a story you created in your mind? For an outcome that may never happen? Fear is nothing more than a projection of your imagination. It's a movie playing in your head, written by doubt, directed by insecurity, and starring a version of you that is weaker than you really are. And you have a choice. You can keep watching that movie, living inside a world of fear, believing in problems that don't exist, or you can stop. You can walk away from the doubts, from the overthinking, from the endless cycle of fear. You can choose to focus on what's real right now, this moment, because in this moment, you are safe. In this moment, you are strong. In this moment, you are more powerful than fear wants you to believe. So stop wasting time imagining disasters that will never come. Stop giving energy to fears that are nothing more than illusions, and start living. Because the only thing worse than something bad happening is spending your whole life afraid of something that never will. You are not put on this earth to live in fear. You were not created to wake up every morning with anxiety gripping your chest, doubting yourself, questioning your worth, and second-guessing your every move. That is not your purpose. That is not your destiny. You were built for something greater. You were designed for faith. You were created to walk with confidence, to move with certainty, to step into every situation knowing that you are more than enough. Fear was never supposed to control you. It was never meant to keep you small, to silence your voice, to make you believe that you are incapable of rising above your circumstances. Fear is not your identity. You were built for strength. You were built for resilience. You were built to overcome. And deep down, you already know this. There is something inside you that refuses to settle, refuses to stay stuck, refuses to accept a life dictated by fear. That voice inside you, the one telling you that you're meant for more, that's the truth. That's the real you. But for too long, you've let fear drown it out. You've let doubt take the lead. You've let worry make your decisions. And where has that gotten you? Nowhere. Fear has never moved you forward. It has never given you power. It has never made your life better. But faith has, confidence has. Every time you stepped into the unknown, every time you took action despite being afraid, every time you refused to let fear dictate your next move, that is when you grew. That is when doors opened. That is when you felt alive. Because you weren't designed to sit on the sidelines waiting, hoping, hesitating. You were made to stand tall, to take risks, to believe in something bigger than yourself, to move forward even when you don't have all the answers, to trust that you are guided, supported, and fully capable of handling whatever comes your way. Fear will always try to pull you back. It will always whisper doubts in your ear. It will always find a reason to stop you, but you don't have to listen. You don't have to let fear make your choices for you. You don't have to let it control your life for another second, because you were built for more. You were built for faith, for confidence, for success. And the moment you stop living in fear is the moment you start living the life you were always meant to have. Control is an illusion. You think you have it, you plan every step, you try to predict every outcome, you convince yourself that if you just work hard enough, if you just think long enough, if you just prepare for every possible scenario, you can make things go exactly the way you want. But life doesn't work like that. No matter how much you plan, things will still happen outside of your control. No matter how much you prepare, unexpected challenges will still come your way. No matter how tightly you hold on, things will still shift, change, and move in ways you never saw coming. And the more you try to control everything, the more you suffer. Because control is exhausting. It keeps you in a constant state of stress, always worrying, always overthinking, always trying to force things into place. It makes you tense. It makes you anxious. It makes you afraid of uncertainty, afraid of change, afraid of letting go. But here's the truth. Real power doesn't come from control. It comes from trust. It comes from knowing that even when things don't go your way, you are still okay. It comes from understanding that life has a rhythm, a flow, a way of unfolding that is bigger than your plans, bigger than your fears, bigger than anything you could have imagined. And when you release the need to control, you step into freedom. You stop fighting the current. You stop resisting every unexpected turn. You stop trying to force things that were never meant to be forced. And instead you allow life to unfold. You trust that every challenge is shaping you. You trust that every setback is redirecting you. You trust that what is meant for you will come and what isn't will fall away. And suddenly the weight lifts, the stress fades, the fear loses its grip. Because you finally understand that you were never supposed to carry it all. You were never supposed to have all the answers. You were never supposed to figure out every single detail of the future before you even take the first step. Life isn't about controlling every moment. It's about learning, growing, adapting. It's about stepping forward in faith, even when you don't know exactly where the path leads. It's about finding peace in the uncertainty, joy in the unknown, strength in surrender. Because the moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you finally start to live. Surrender isn't weakness, it's power. But the world has taught you the opposite. It has told you that surrender means giving up, that letting go means losing control, that if you aren't fighting every second, you're falling behind. And so you hold on, you grip tightly to your plans, your expectations, your way of thinking. You try to force things to happen on your timeline, in your way, exactly as you imagined. And when things don't go as planned, you fight harder, you resist, you push, you struggle against the flow of life, convinced that if you don't, everything will fall apart. But what if I told you the opposite is true? What if I told you that surrender is not defeat? It's the key to your breakthrough. Because when you finally let go, when you finally stop resisting, when you finally surrender, you allow divine forces to work in your favor. You stop blocking the blessings that were meant for you. You stop standing in your own way. You stop trying to control things that were never yours to control in the first place. And instead, you step into flow. You move with life instead of against it. You open yourself up to new possibilities, new opportunities, new paths that you never would have seen if you were still gripping so tightly to the old ones. Surrender doesn't mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for life to happen to you. It means trusting. It means taking action with faith instead of fear. It means knowing that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders alone, because there is something greater than you at work, a force that sees the bigger picture, a force that is guiding you, leading you, aligning things in ways you can't even imagine, but you have to be willing to trust it. You have to be willing to release the doubt, the fear, the need to control every little detail. You have to be willing to surrender. And when you do, everything shifts. Doors open that you never expected. Opportunities appear that you never saw coming. People, resources, ideas. They all align in ways that are beyond coincidence. Because when you surrender, you step into divine timing. You align yourself with the flow of life instead of fighting against it. And suddenly, things don't feel so heavy anymore. The stress fades. The anxiety loosens its grip. The fear no longer controls you, because you finally understand that you were never meant to do this alone. You were never meant to figure it all out by yourself. You were meant to trust. You were meant to believe. You were meant to let go and let something greater lead the way. Worrying never solves problems. But that doesn't stop you from doing it. You sit there replaying the same thoughts over and over again. You imagine every possible worst-case scenario. You convince yourself that if you think about it long enough, stress about it hard enough, somehow you'll find a solution. But has that ever worked? Has worrying ever fixed anything in your life? No. Worry doesn't give you answers. It doesn't bring you peace. It doesn't move you forward. It only keeps you stuck, trapped in your head, drained of your energy, frozen in fear instead of taking action. Because that's the real trick of worry. It makes you feel like you're doing something when in reality, you're doing nothing. It keeps you busy, but not productive. It keeps you thinking, but not solving. It keeps you anxious, but not moving. Worry is wasted energy. It's like running on a treadmill, exhausting yourself, but going nowhere. But there is another way, a way that actually works, a way that brings real solutions, real change, real progress. And that way is faith. Faith doesn't mean sitting back and hoping things magically work out. Faith means taking action with trust. It means stepping forward even when you don't see the whole path. It means making decisions based on belief, not fear. It means knowing deep in your soul that you are being guided, supported, and led in the right direction, even when you can't see it yet. When you act from a place of faith, doors open, opportunities appear, solutions reveal themselves, not because you stressed your way into them, not because you worried enough to force them into existence, but because you let go of fear and stepped into trust. Because you stopped waiting for perfect clarity and started moving forward anyway. Because you understood that progress is made through action, not anxiety. This is the truth. Worrying is easy. Anyone can sit around and stress about their problems. But faith requires strength. Faith requires courage. Faith requires you to believe in something greater than your fears. And that belief is what changes everything. That belief is what brings peace instead of panic. That belief is what turns obstacles into opportunities. That belief is what shifts your entire reality. So stop wasting time on worry. Stop letting it drain your energy, your mind, your spirit. Stop letting it hold you back from the life you were meant to live. Because worrying never solves problems. But trusting and taking action from faith always does. Trusting God opens doors, doors you never even knew existed, doors you never thought would open for you, doors that no amount of stress, worry, or control could have ever unlocked. But trust changes everything. Because miracles don't happen in a mind filled with fear. They happen when you step into faith. Fear keeps you stuck. It keeps you doubting, hesitating, second-guessing yourself at every turn. It tells you that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that you don't have what it takes. But that is a lie, because the moment you let go of fear, The moment you stop overanalyzing, stop doubting, stop questioning every little detail, that's when miracles begin. That's when things start shifting. That's when opportunities come out of nowhere, solutions appear, and the impossible suddenly becomes possible. Because faith is power. Faith is the energy that moves mountains. Faith is the force that turns obstacles into stepping stones. Faith is what allows you to walk into situations that should have broken you and come out stronger than ever. But here's the thing. Faith isn't passive. Faith isn't just sitting back, waiting, hoping something good happens. Faith is action. Faith is stepping forward even when you don't see the full path. Faith is moving even when everything in you wants to hesitate. Faith is knowing deep in your soul that you are being guided, that you are being led, that something bigger than you is making a way, even when you can't see it yet. And when you trust in that, everything changes. The stress fades, the anxiety loosens its grip, the weight you've been carrying trying to figure everything out on your own finally lifts, because you realize you were never meant to do it all alone. You were never meant to carry that kind of burden. You were meant to trust. You were meant to believe. You were meant to step forward in faith, knowing that the doors meant for you will open, that the right people, the right opportunities, the right moments will align, that what is truly meant for you can never be taken from you, not by fear, not by doubt, not by anything or anyone. So stop letting fear run your life. Stop worrying about things that are already being taken care of. Stop hesitating, waiting, wondering if things will ever change. Because the moment you shift from fear to faith, the moment you trust, believe, and move forward without doubt, that's when the miracles begin. Faith brings peace. Worry brings stress. And every single day you get to decide which one you want to live in. Most people don't realize they have a choice. They wake up with anxiety already in their chest. They let fear dictate their thoughts, their actions, their entire day. They obsess over things they can't control, replaying worst case scenarios in their minds over and over again. And they wonder why they feel exhausted, overwhelmed, drained. Worry does that. It steals your energy. It robs you of joy. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of fear, doubt, and frustration. And yet people hold on to it like it's helping them. Like if they just worry enough, stress enough, overthink enough, somehow things will get better. But has that ever worked? Has worry ever solved your problems? Has it ever brought you peace? Has it ever made your life better? No, worry has never moved you forward, but faith has. Faith gives you strength when nothing makes sense. Faith calms your heart when life feels uncertain. Faith reminds you that you don't have to figure everything out on your own, because you are being guided, you are being supported, you are being led in ways you may not see right now, but one day you'll look back and understand that job you didn't get, that relationship that didn't work out, that situation you thought was falling apart. It was all part of the bigger picture. It was all leading you to something greater. But you can only see that when you choose faith over fear. When you stop stressing over things that aren't in your control. When you stop worrying about problems that are already being worked out for you. When you let go of the need to have all the answers and start trusting that the answers will come, that's where peace is. That's where freedom is. That's where life finally starts to feel lighter. But it's a choice. You have to choose it every single day. You have to wake up and decide, will I live in stress today, or will I choose faith? Will I let worry consume me, or will I stand in trust? Because you can't have both. You can't live in peace while clinging to fear. You can't move forward while holding on to doubt. You have to let one go. And if you're tired of feeling anxious, if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're tired of carrying the weight of worry every single day, then maybe it's time to let faith take over, because faith brings peace. Worry brings stress, and only one of them will lead you to the life you were meant to live. The key is action with trust. Not just action, not just trust, both, because action without trust leads to exhaustion. You work, you push, you grind, but deep down you're still doubting, still questioning, still wondering if it will all fall apart. And that doubt, that fear, it slows you down. It drains your energy. It keeps you second guessing, hesitating, holding back when you should be moving forward. And trust without action, that's just waiting. That's hoping something will change while you stand still. That's sitting on the sidelines of your own life, wishing for things to be different, but never stepping forward to make them happen. That's not faith. Faith moves. Faith acts. Faith takes the step even when the path isn't clear. Faith doesn't wait for every detail to be figured out. It moves with confidence, knowing that the way will be made as you go. That's the key. You let go of fear. You take action. And you believe, truly believe, that the best is coming, because it is. Your breakthrough, your blessing, your next level, it's already in motion. But you have to step into it. You have to stop overthinking, stop doubting, stop waiting for perfect conditions. You don't need every answer before you begin. You don't need to see the whole picture before you take the first step. You just need to move and trust that every step you take will reveal the next. Trust that even if things don't go exactly as planned, they are still working in your favor. Trust that what's meant for you will find you if you are bold enough to show up for it. No more waiting, no more holding back, no more letting fear keep you stuck. You were made for more. You were made to move. You were made to step forward in faith, knowing that something bigger is guiding you. And when you do, doors will open, opportunities will come, things will fall into place in ways you never imagined. Not because you worried your way there, not because you had everything figured out, but because you took action with trust, because you let go of fear, because you believed without a doubt that the best was coming. And it is. It always has been. Now it's time for you to move toward it. Your breakthrough is waiting. It's already there. It's not missing. It's not lost. It's not something you have to chase, beg for, or force into existence. It's waiting for you to step into it. But first, you have to let go. Let go of the fear. Let go of the doubt. Let go of the need to control every little detail, because the moment you give it to God, the moment you release the weight you've been carrying, that's when everything shifts. That's when the doors that once seemed locked begin to open. That's when the stress, the anxiety, the frustration that's been holding you back finally starts to fade, because you were never meant to do this alone. You were never meant to figure out every step on your own. You were meant to trust. You were meant to believe. You were meant to step forward in faith, knowing that God has already prepared the way. But you can't move forward if you're still holding on to the past. You can't receive new blessings if your hands are full of old worries. You can't step into a new level of life if fear is still anchoring you to the old one. Breakthrough requires surrender. It requires faith. It requires a decision to stop trying to do it all in your own strength and start trusting in a higher plan. And when you make that decision, everything changes. Opportunities start appearing, doors open that you never could have forced open on your own. People, resources, and ideas begin to align in ways that are beyond coincidence. Because when you trust God, you activate a different kind of power, a power that moves mountains, a power that turns obstacles into stepping stones, a power that takes your struggles and transforms them into testimonies. But it starts with you. It starts with your decision to stop holding on so tightly to fear and start holding on to faith, to stop asking, what if it doesn't work, and start declaring, what if it does, to stop shrinking, doubting, and hesitating, and start walking boldly into the future that was meant for you. Your breakthrough isn't coming someday. It's already here. It's waiting for you to claim it. It's waiting for you to trust that what's ahead is greater than what's behind. It's waiting for you to give it all to God and step into the life that has been waiting for you all along. So now you have a choice. You can keep carrying the weight, keep overthinking, keep trying to force everything to happen on your own, or you can release it. You can trust that the plan for your life is bigger than anything you could imagine. You can step forward in faith, knowing that the moment you let go, the moment you surrender, the moment you fully give it to God, that's when everything shifts. That's when peace replaces stress. That's when clarity replaces confusion. That's when doors open, breakthroughs happen, and the impossible becomes possible. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't let fear keep you from the life that is meant for you. Give it to God, trust the process, and step boldly into the next level of your life.